Well, today, the president called the special counsel appointed to investigate his possession of classified documents after leaving office a thug. He then attacked the special counsel's wife and said his, quote, friends and other family members are even worse. He called the special counsel now investigating him an unfair savage who, quote, may very well turn out to be a criminal. And then he added his conflicts, unfairness, and mental state of derangement make him totally unfit for the job. The president said that today. The president said the special counsel's investigation of his handling of classified documents, quote, must stop now. The president I'm talking about is, of course, the one who has retired to Florida, where he spent some of his day today writing those attacks on special counsel Jack Smith, who is investigating Donald Trump's possession after leaving office of over 300 classified documents and thousands of other government documents that Donald Trump was not authorized to legally possess. What has President Biden had to say about the Justice Department's investigation of his possession of what may be about a dozen documents marked classified after he left the vice presidency?
I don't know what's in the documents. My lawyers have not suggested I ask what documents they were. I've turned over the boxes. They've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review, and which I hope will be finished soon, and there'll be more detail at that time. I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review.
And now is the moment where we should pause. Just once, pause to consider just how special the rules are for Donald Trump's public discourse in the news media. This is a day when the Washington press corps did their thing about trying to pick apart every word said by Joe Biden or the White House press secretary about the classified documents found in Joe Biden's private possession, while completely ignoring the blaring outburst of pathological lies by Donald Trump about the special counsel who is investigating him. Donald Trump does not know anything about special counsel Jack Smith, who's investigating Donald Trump. Not one thing. And no one at Fox is ever going to ask Donald Trump what he meant when he said this today. The special prosecutor assigned to the Get Trump case, Jack Smith, is a Trump-hating thug whose wife is a serial and open Trump hater, whose friends and other family members are even worse. And as a prosecutor in Europe, according to Rick Grenell, put a high government official in prison because he was a Trump-positive person, Smith is known as an unfair savage. Donald Trump then demanded that the special counsel's investigation of him stop right now, today. That's what Donald Trump said today. You don't have to reach far to get the comparisons between how Donald Trump is reacting to a special counsel in his case and how Joe Biden is reacting to a special counsel in his case. Joe Biden says he's cooperating fully and completely. And that's what you're supposed to hear from presidents or other public officials who are under investigation, cooperating fully. That's what you're supposed to hear. And that's what you heard from Joe Biden today, from the White House press secretary today. And that's what you have never, ever heard from Donald Trump when he has been subject to an investigation. And so, going forward, get used to it now. The Washington press corps is going to play by the old standard rules with Joe Biden and try to pick apart every word he says and doesn't say about this investigation. And they will completely ignore the poison madness that will continue to emanate from Donald Trump about all of the investigations in which Donald Trump is now a target. In other words, they will play by the Trump rules while the Trump investigation is ongoing and basically ignore everything he says. And then they will play by the old Washington rules with Joe Biden. And that's just the way this is going to be done. So get used to it now. Today, in a written statement, the lawyer for Joe Biden said, we're fully cooperating with the National Archives. He's a special counsel to President Biden. That written statement says the president's lawyers have searched the president's Wilmington and Rehoboth Beach, Delaware residences, the other locations where files from his vice presidential office may have been shipped. In the course of the 2017 transition, the lawyers completed that review last night. During the review, the lawyers discovered, among personal and political papers, a small number of additional Obama-Biden administration records with classified markings. All but one of these documents were found in storage space in the president's Wilmington residence garage. One document, consisting of one page, was discovered among stored materials in an adjacent room. No documents were found in the Rehoboth Beach residence. Today, Attorney General Merrick Garland restored a tradition and standard practice in choosing a special counsel to investigate a president of the United States. The Attorney General very deliberately chose a lawyer from the opposite party of the president. That is the way special prosecutors of presidents were always chosen until Donald Trump's turn came, when a Republican Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, chose a Republican special prosecutor, Robert Mueller, to investigate Donald Trump. The tradition of making sure a special prosecutor was not a member of the president's political party was a way of trying to add credibility to special prosecutors' investigations. Donald Trump has tried to turn that principle on its head and has always argued that anyone who didn't vote for Donald Trump should never be allowed to investigate Donald Trump. He spent virtually every day of the Mueller investigation attacking every known member of Robert Mueller's prosecutorial team, including Andrew Weissmann, who will join us tonight. Today, Merrick Garland appointed Republican Robert Hur as the special counsel investigating President Biden. Robert Hur is a 2001 graduate of Stanford Law School, who then was a clerk for two judges appointed by Republican President Ronald Reagan, including the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, William Rehnquist, then the most conservative member of the Supreme Court. Robert Hur has made at least 3 political contributions to Republican candidates, including to John McCain's losing Republican presidential campaign in 2008.
Mr. Hur has a long and distinguished career as a prosecutor. In 2003, he joined the department's criminal division, where he worked on counterterrorism, corporate fraud, and appellate matters. From 2007 until 2014, Mr. Hur served as an assistant U.S. attorney for the District of Maryland, where he prosecuted matters ranging from violent crime to financial fraud. In 2017, Mr. Hur rejoined the department as the Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General. In 2018, he was nominated and confirmed to serve as a U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland. As U.S. Attorney, he supervised some of the department's more important national security, public corruption, and other high-profile matters. I am confident that Mr. Hur will carry out his responsibility in an even-handed and urgent manner and in accordance with the highest traditions of this department.
In a written statement, Robert Hur said, "I will conduct the assigned investigation with fair, impartial, and dispassionate judgment. I intend to follow the facts swiftly and thoroughly without fear or favor, and will honor the trust placed in me to perform this service."